Ever glanced at your game library and thought, why isn't this as exciting as it used to be? You're not alone. Fans across the globe are wondering what really happened to video games. For an industry that should be thriving on cutting-edge hardware and beautiful graphics, it's baffling that more and more of us feel let down with every high-profile release. If you've ever asked yourself, is it just me or have games lost their spark? Then get ready, because the full story is more surprising than you might think. Everything from soaring budgets to controversial microtransactions has shaped the medium we love. But beneath those fancy trailers and big promises, what exactly is causing that feeling of burnout? Let's jump into the changes, revelations, and rumors that led us here, and why there's still hope for gamers seeking that perfect thrill. Welcome to Gamers Service Announcement. GSA. The more you know. Click that subscribe button and hit on the alert button to get notified about new videos for you. Remember the first time you played something like Super Mario Bros. Or Pokemon? The simplicity and polish were legendary, mostly because developers back then had no safety net for mistakes. If there was a nasty bug in a cartridge-based game, that was it. No updates, no day one patches. This forced studios to test their work endlessly, and while the games were smaller, they felt finished and full of heart. Contrast that with today. We get incredibly lifelike worlds, but also wonder if these titles are even complete. Gamers sometimes pay extra just to see promised fixes. The disillusionment grows when repeated glitches and performance issues become standard, something that would have been unthinkable a couple of decades ago. Yet the problem isn't merely technical. A deeper shift in the philosophy of creating games has quietly taken over. Once upon a time, AAA was synonymous with guaranteed masterpiece. Some companies delivered wonders like older Final Fantasy installments or Grand Theft Auto classics that felt revolutionary. Then budgets expanded. Project sizes ballooned, and the stakes got ridiculously high. Publishers poured millions of dollars into marketing, building insane hype that the final product couldn't always satisfy. Suddenly, launching big became more important than launching right. Studios that used to take pride in polishing every corner were under corporate pressure to ship by a certain date, even if the game was held together by duct tape and day one patches. That's how you get nightmares. Broken quests, ridiculous technical glitches, servers crashing on release. Fans who'd already spent $70 or more were left feeling robbed. But that wasn't the whole story. Beneath the glossy surface of these blockbusters lurked something that would shake the foundations of gaming. The real money wasn't just coming from sales anymore. If there's one word that rattles the modern gamer, it's microtransactions. Some players see them as a convenience for busy fans who can't grind. Others view them as a direct assault on fair play and product integrity. Either way, they've become a permanent fixture in the gaming landscape. Want that limited edition armor skin? Pay up. Want to unlock your favorite character early? Slide the devs a little extra cash. It doesn't end at cosmetics. Accusations surfaced about pay-to-win models in certain titles, fueling intense backlash from the community. Some publishers even got caught using exploitative tactics, from time-saver XP boosts to intentionally bloated progression systems. That's not all, though. Many speculate that these systems make it harder to enjoy the base game without paying more, cheapening the overall experience. So why do studios keep pushing them? The truth is, games cost a fortune to produce. If a project bombs, microtransactions can be a lifeline to recoup losses. Still, fans can't help but feel it's a slippery slope, with big corporations sacrificing creative quality for guaranteed revenue. Yet, even with all the cynicism around these money-making schemes, another part of the industry was quietly exploding into mainstream culture. No list of modern gaming trends is complete without mentioning the Battle Royale phenomenon. Titles like Fortnite and Apex Legends thrust players into huge lobbies, each frantically vying to be the last one alive. People were addicted to the thrill of dropping from the sky, scrambling for loot, and pulling off clutch wins. The hype was real and unstoppable. Naturally, everyone else tried to jump in. Some studios launched their own unique spin, only to realize the market didn't need 100 near-identical clones. Countless projects got scrapped when they failed to catch that lightning in a bottle. Even the big dogs struggled to maintain consistent updates, balance issues, and server stability. The result? A wave of half-baked releases that flopped on day one, leading many gamers to wonder if developers had lost their sense of innovation. But that wasn't the end of it. The real surprise was about to come from an unexpected place, far from the massive budgets and brand-name studios we're used to seeing. While AAA devs were racing to outdo each other with bigger worlds and flashier graphics, a whole other movement was brewing behind the scenes. Small teams, and sometimes even solo developers, were quietly crafting games that ditched the bloat and focused on the fun. They operated on shoestring budgets, yet delivered experiences that felt heartwarmingly original. Titles from tiny studios suddenly started blowing up. Whether it was a hand-drawn 2D platformer with an emotional story or a puzzle game that forced you to think outside the box, these gems reminded players of the real reason we game: fun. Some projects were shockingly short, just a few hours of gameplay, but those hours were brimming with artistry and passion. People began to realize that enjoyment isn't always tied to massive open worlds or photorealistic graphics. Maybe what we need is compelling design. That's when big publishers started to notice. Certain indie hits got scooped up by larger distributors, sparking questions about whether this spelled doom for indie freedom or a new horizon of recognition. With more fans discovering these under-the-radar titles, it looked as though a creative renaissance had begun. But, ironically, at the same time, an older trend returned with full force, hitting gamers squarely in their nostalgia. Remakes once felt like a precious opportunity for fans to revisit their beloved classics in a modern engine. But these days, it seems like half the market is busy re-releasing older hits. Whether it's a Resident Evil or a Metal Gear entry, publishers know people's devotion to these franchises means guaranteed sales. Yet not every remake lands well. Some fans appreciate the updated visuals but can't stand changed mechanics, story tweaks, or anything that alters the original tone. Why ruin a good thing? They ask. Others relish the chance to see their favorite characters with hyper-realistic graphics and polished gameplay. The real shocker is that some remakes are borderline different games entirely, so players argue it should be labeled a sequel or spin-off instead. With so many remakes flooding the market, a new speculation emerged. Are studios so terrified of failing with new ideas that they'd rather just repackage old favorites? People started pointing fingers at gaming execs, accusing them of chasing safe cash grabs instead of riskier, fresh concepts. This raised the question, has the industry become complacent, focusing on repackaging the past instead of forging an original future? Open-world design, once a jaw-dropping novelty, is everywhere now. Massive landscapes jam-packed with side quests, collectibles, and random events. On paper, it sounds thrilling. But many gamers are voicing the same concern: burnout. Some open worlds look huge at first glance, yet end up feeling repetitive once you dig in. Developers often tout the sheer scope of their environments, but the actual content can be hollow. Rumors swirl about cut corners and overworked teams forced to meet deadlines rather than refine the experience. Critics argue that overemphasis on map size misses the point. People crave memorable moments and emotional stakes, not just bragging rights for bigger terrain. Now, some folks are actively seeking shorter, more polished games. They want something that fits into a busy adult schedule, quality over quantity. It's an interesting twist. The gaming world went all in on sprawling epics, only to find many fans longing for smaller-scale projects brimming with creativity. But size isn't the only factor that's changed. Sometimes, the real reason you feel unexcited about the latest release has nothing to do with the product itself. Here's a harsh truth that doesn't get enough attention. We've grown up. The magic we felt playing games as kids was partly because we were children, unburdened by deadlines, bills, or heavy life responsibilities. We had ample time to lose ourselves in pixel worlds, happily ignoring any flaws. Nostalgia can tint memories in rose gold. Now, after a tough day of adulting, picking up the controller can feel like more effort than enjoyment. Our tolerance for bugs and incomplete features is lower. Our expectations are higher. Even the biggest open world can't replicate that fresh sense of discovery we had when we were 12, unwrapping a new console on our birthday. Does that mean gaming's doomed? Absolutely not. Plenty of us still find real bliss in exploring a brand new release or replaying a hidden classic. And as we saw, some titles, especially from dedicated indie teams, are defying the mold, offering just the right balance of nostalgia, innovation, and pure fun. In many ways, the future might not be about unstoppable hype trains. It might revolve around authenticity and passion for the craft, something we glimpsed in older games that still resonate today. When you look at what's happening to video games, it's a tangled web of colossal budgets, tight deadlines, creative risk aversion, and even your own shifting life situation. From the unstoppable force of AAA blockbusters, often launching too soon, to the quiet brilliance of indie studios, our ecosystem is full of contrasts. Some publishers rely on microtransactions to stay afloat, while others flood the market with nostalgia-fueled remakes. Meanwhile, open worlds keep expanding, leaving many of us exhausted rather than thrilled. Yet there's a silver lining. Every day, fresh voices enter the industry, determined to prove that fun is still the heart of gaming. Whether you find excitement in an ultra-polished AAA extravaganza, a short but fulfilling indie gem, or a heartfelt remake of an old favorite, there's room for optimism. The real question is whether we, the gamers, can keep discovering and supporting the projects that deserve our attention. After all, with every passing year, studios new and old are forced to adapt, so the next revolution could be just around the corner. In the end, gaming's loss of fun isn't an irreversible curse. It's a sign that we, as an audience and a culture, are evolving. The key is to stay curious, keep exploring, and remember that magic can still be found in a digital world, if you know where to look. When those perfect moments do pop up, it feels like you're a kid again, sitting in front of a TV in a dark room, controller in hand, heart pounding with excitement. And that feeling, no matter how many controversies or corporate slip-ups we endure, is exactly why we keep coming back. If you like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that alert button for more awesome videos. Gamers Service Announcement: the more you know.